Hello students, here is Ashu Gupta, Assistant Professor. Again welcomes you all on the behalf of the Indraprasth Law College. In today's lecture, we are going to discuss about the meaning and purpose of extradition. If we talk about the general meaning about the extradition means to give up. That is the basic meaning of that extradition. But if we defined it under the concept of international law, according to the definition of extradition in the international law, the delivery of a person suspected or convicted of a crime by the state where he has taken refuge or taken asylum to the state that asserts jurisdiction over him. In the words of Oppenheim, extradition is the delivery of an accused or a convicted individual to the state on whose territory he is alleged to have been convicted of a crime. According to Stark, the term extradition denotes the process whereby under treaty or upon a basis of reciprocity, one state surrenders to another state at this request a person accused or convicted of a criminal offense committed against the laws of the requesting state, such requesting state being competent to try the alleged offender. Extradition is the conventional process in which a person is surrendered by one state to another on the basis of a treaty or committee or some bilateral arrangement between the two sovereign states. This request of extradition made by a sovereign state is usually initiated at first place because the individual demanded by the state is charged with a crime but not tried, or tried and convicted, yet the accused escaped and reached the territory of the other sovereign state. According to the norms of the international law, there is a lack of a binding obligation on a state to surrender the accused demanded by another foreign state because the law upholds the principle of sovereignty, which is about the right and full authority of the state over itself and its subjects without any intervention from foreign bodies. That is the basic definitions which is given through the different jurists in the chapter of extradition of that international law. Now we'll talk about the purpose of extradition. The purpose of extradition is to prevent crimes and to punish the criminals who have escaped from their punishment and started to reside in another country. As we know, it would be easier for the country to punish the offender where he had committed the offense, and it would be easy to gather evidence against him for that particular offense, even if the country is unable to punish him due to technicalities of law or lack of jurisdiction. Then he can be taken back to home country through the process of extradition. Thus, the object of the process of extradition is to prevent and reduce the crimes in the international field, and the role of extradition is to prevent crimes and punish criminals, as it is the interest of all countries to punish the criminals and prevent the crimes, because the country in which a person of criminal character resides, it is in the interest of such country to ensure extradition of such a person but it also depends on bilateral treaty and upon the principle of reciprocity. But where there is no treaty or agreement, then the country can request the other country where the offender is residing to extradite the fugitive or offender, and it is in the interest of the security and law and order of such country to extradite the accused. In the view of the increasing crimes in the international field in recent years, the importance and prevalence of the extradition have increased. In recent years, the provisions relating to extradition find mention in international treaties. The universal recognition of human rights has enhanced the prevalence and importance of extradition. International cooperation is most essential in cases of extradition because there is hardly a country which has an extradition treaty with all the other countries of the world. The purpose of extradition is to make sure that criminals are surrendered from one country to another, which leads to mutual cooperation between states in control, prevention, and suppression of international and domestic criminality. At present, in this era of globalization, where certain groups and individuals are conducting trade and business by various means and channels at an unprecedented manner, most of the crimes have become cross-border in nature, and thus the obligation on the part of the states to extradite has gained enough significance and value over the years. Now, if we talk about the legal status of the extradition from Indian and international law perspective, then we can say that as per the Indian law, the extradition of an escapee or fugitive from India to another nation or vice versa is dealt by the rules laid down in the Extradition Act 1962. This law forms the legislative basis for extradition in India. The Extradition Act deals with 2 schedules and 5 chapters, and the term extradition treaty is defined as per section 2 subclause D of the Extradition Act, which explains it as a treaty, agreement or arrangement with a foreign state in the relation of the extradition of fugitive criminals. In the Supreme Court case of Abu Salem Abdul Qayyum Ansari versus State of Maharashtra 2011, Justice Sathasivam was of the view that with a tremendous increase in the international transport and communication, extradition has taken prominence since the emergence of the 21st century. As per the international law conventions, a state is not under a binding obligation to surrender a fugitive to another sovereign state. There is no duty as such imposed by the international law on the state to extradite. Although there are certain basic principles governing the extradition process which are accepted and followed by several nations, and we will discuss about that later on in the next coming lectures. So hope you will enjoy a lot this lecture and clarify the meaning and the purpose or the legal status of the extradition very well. and enumerated it into your study. We will meet soon again in the next lecture. Thank you very much.